mask, we are doing Shea Moisture, and it's going to be African black soap clarifying mud mask with tamarind extract and tea tree oil. This is my first time trying it, and so I will let you know how it feels. Last time I made a huge mistake and dropped it on me, so today I'm just gonna do a speed of how I put it on, and then we'll talk. So keep watching for more. Done putting on our mask, and so now we wait. It says to leave on for 10 minutes, so in the meantime, let's chat. So today I wanted to talk about wedding stories. This weekend I got a chance to meet up with some friends, married couples, and we were just hanging out, had such an amazing time. I love celebrating Black love. Like, it is so good to be around healthy marriages, around people who are fighting to break generational curses, to be diligent in making sure that they change how things were, or change how they grew up and make it different for their household. And I just thrive off of that. So I got to meet up with some girlfriends and their husbands, and it was just so amazing. The girls had, girl chat. The guys were playing dominoes and just hanging out. And we were reminiscing on so much about our wedding, and we started playing, we were having like a battle at first, our own verses, but then we decided to play our wedding songs. And when I tell you, it was so deep, so we each played the song that we walked down the aisle to, and then we played our first dance song. And it was just so nostalgic for all of us, where it brought us back down memory lane where we could remember our wedding, and literally all of us just got chills listening to our wedding songs, and it's just so powerful. And I love that we got to experience that together and to crack jokes and, share stories. And so one of the things that we also discussed, well, before we even get into that, so my song that I walked down to, it was just so powerful. And also decided to share the experiences of something that happened on our wedding day. So as you know, weddings don't always go as planned. Something just always manages to happen, something. Sometimes the bride knows, sometimes they don't. So for me, my wedding issue was the day of, so we had a destination wedding, and the day of, it decided to rain. And not just any rain. It was like hurricane rain. I went all the way to Mexico for it to rain like crazy, and I was just baffled. And when I tell you I started getting cold feet from that, because I was like, God, is this a sign? You trying to tell me something? But we prayed. I had everybody pray. We prayed, and literally by the time I had to walk down the aisle, the sun was shining so brightly, and I was just like, God, you are amazing, so amazing. And whatever cold feet I had went out the window when I was walking down that aisle and saw my husband in tears. Serious tears. So I just knew I was making the right decision. And so, that was just one of the memories that I just had from our wedding, and one of the things that happened. And I would love for you guys to share some of your wedding stories as far as things that went wrong or didn't go as planned. It happens to us all. It happens to us all. So that was some of the memories that I had, and it was just amazing to just join with our friends to kind of go down memory lane and have so much fun together. And I just live for things like that. But it also made me think about red flags. So when we talked about getting cold feet and talked about, God, is this a sign? What are you trying to tell us? It also made me think about how people can confuse cold feet with red flags. And there's a major difference. Red flags are things that are going to not give you jitters about the wedding itself, but it's giving you questions about the person you're marrying. And that's where you need to decipher whether the decision you're making is right or wrong. And so red flags look like, and I'm not saying to consider this all the time because it varies. Sometimes the people closest to you can identify if there's red flags about your relationship or about your spouse that you should definitely factor in. I think that is very important. And so I always suggest premarital counseling because it can help you guys kind of decipher if you're making the right decision, if maybe you're not marrying the wrong person, but maybe you guys need to wait a little bit to kind of figure things out before making that big decision. For us, we did have red flags. And there will be certain red flags that you have to decide, okay, is this something I can live with? Is this something that I can work through? And so for us, we did do premarital counseling. And one of the things that we got, or we scored poorly on our counseling, was conflict resolution. And when I tell you guys, and I always say this to people who are considering marriage, the things that you identify or that you see as red flags or pointers before getting married, they don't change because you get married. They will definitely highlight after getting married. And so, that was something that we definitely focused on in our premarital counseling, how to, handle conflict. We are my husband and I are two very emotional people, and we can definitely get into it. And so that was one of the problem areas that we had in the beginning of our relationship. And I thought it would go away as, after we got married. No, it only intensified, and we really had to be diligent in working through it and becoming stronger in how we handled conflict. And now we've gotten to a point where we can easily communicate when things are wrong and can identify how to work through our problems in a healthier way. But, in the beginning, as someone looking on the outside in, I would always tell someone like, hey, maybe you need to look into that a little bit more before making that decision, because red flags are a big deal. And I always tell people you need to figure out if this is an okay or if this is something we should wait it out and take our time before making that decision. But anywho, we ended up getting married. It worked for us. We are happy. And all of this to say, I think it is great to have a community of couples around you that you can grow, you can learn from, that you guys can kind of thrive off of each other, get advice from each other, help each other out through the rough times. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mask and Marriage. I hope you got something out of it. And be sure to tune in for next Monday's Mask and Marriage, episode 3. Bye.